My name is Kirsten, and I am part of Sophia's project, and I'm one half of the twin pairing. So I'm just going to answer the questions that she gave me, and I'll try to keep them as short but also as helpful to her project, hopefully, as possible. So we're just going to get started. Okay, so the first question is being a twin limiting or restricting? And I would say that it used to be limiting. I'm sorry if I keep looking at the camera too. I'm not good at this, but um, it used to be limiting and restricting because people would like group us together and think that if they were friends with me, they had to be friends with both of us. Or, if they invited like me, they have to invite my sister, and like that actually like kept me from having my own friendships for a long time. People would automatically assume things about us, or oh, she already has a best friend, so she doesn't want me as a friend. Which that was honestly kind of hard when we were kids, but not anymore. Now that we're in college, a lot of people don't know. Um, the second question is, what were oh does being a twin give you a lot of freedom? And I'd say in one way, yes, it does. You always have someone there for you. I find myself when Alex, my twin, would be in my class, I would feel a lot more comfortable, and I find myself acting the way I wouldn't if she wasn't there, because I know that I have someone to back me up, and someone that thinks I'm funny, and someone that, um, I know I always have someone who loves me, I don't know if that makes sense, but it gives you freedom sometimes to try new things because you have that person there next to you. Yeah, you get a lot more confident in something because you have that person there that literally looks like you. You know, you're bonded for life, and so that honestly gives you freedom to do other things. Um, physically, what are our oh no, what really sets you apart from each other? I would say our personality is honestly the biggest thing. I don't think we look alike, but if you were to just do ever like, I mean, I know we look similar, but I don't, I never see her and think, wow, that looks like me, really. Um, but I'd say personality. We're both like, we're raised in the same household. We have a lot of the same values and some of the same mannerisms. Like siblings or oh yeah, if you see, oh my mom does that, But personality wise, I just think I'm a little bit more outgoing than her, and she'll say that too. I'm a little more talkative. People that meet me first, like, oh yeah. Um, s- Sometimes I'm just a little bit more. Yeah, I let my guard down first, but I mean, I think we're both very nice people, so I'm not like saying anything bad about her, but I do think our personalities just are different. I'm definitely more emotional, more. I'm just kind of like quick to forgive, try to, a little bit more lighthearted. Um, but so yeah, I'd say personality. What are our physical differences? Um, our face shape is different. I can't tell you what it is. I every time I try to define it, it's not right. But there's something about I think we have the same nose, but something about our face shape is different. I think mine's a little bit more square or a little bit wider, but again, I don't really know. Our hair is different. Obviously the length depends on if you cut it, but my hair is a little bit lighter, but that's still not, it's not really that noticeable. Our skin tones are also different. It's winter right now, so you might not be able to tell, but in the summer I get a lot tanner than her, because I spend more time outside, and so some people used to be like, oh, I just can tell you apart because you're like definitely quite a few shades darker. But other than that, her feet her feet are bigger. I don't really know why that happens, but I think we're also similar. Obviously, we're similar physically in a lot of ways. Um, what are our friend groups like? Um, I didn't write down the answer to this question ahead of time. We have different friend groups. I don't in high school. Um, I was part of a bigger friend group, and that was like my first time ever getting my own friend group, and she was part of her own. Um, she had a band and all that stuff, and I wasn't a part of that. But now, we go to different colleges, so we have different friends. um, Mine is now more small core group of people. I live with a few girls, but yeah, it's kind of we can't really have the same friend group as much when we don't go to school together. Um, the next one was, what are some things that people don't know about being a twin? I also forgot to write down the answer to this one ahead of time. Um, I would say just they don't. Well, first of all, a lot of times people don't realize how different you are and how you don't think it's a mirror. You don't think you're a clone. You don't think, you see yourselves two totally different people. But I also don't think they realize how much of a privilege it is and how special. And I really do feel like I could never, of course we get in fights and all that stuff, but I could never not have her in my life and not be close to her. There's some sort of bond that I cannot explain. We're just there for each other. You literally you share basically the same DNA. Like there's something so special about that, and um I don't think a lot of people get that. Yeah. And then, does it get annoying when people ask if you are twins? No, I don't get annoyed when people ask, because when I see twins, I want to ask them because I want to be like, hey, I'm a twin too. But I do get annoyed with the questions that follow, like, oh, hey, if I punch you, does your sister feel it? Or like, oh, you know, some of the more hurtful things, like, oh, you're like the same person. Why remember one time my sister didn't get interviewed for something because someone already interviewed me, and they interviewed me, they basically got her opinion, right? Like some of those things, it's like when people group you together, then it gets annoying. Are people able to tell us apart? I would say no, not right away. If you know one of us first, it's way easier. People be like, oh my gosh, you look so different. But sometimes when people meet us both at the same time, I think it's hard for them to get the differentiation. Um, and then, but it's weird. We get some responses that are like, oh my gosh, how I don't even think you guys are twins. And then some people are like, I could never tell you apart. So I honestly, I don't understand how people see us so differently. But when you meet someone new, do you mention that you're a twin? Um, no, not not particularly. Like, I do think being a twin has become a part of my identity. That was one thing in college. I tried to get away from it. I was like, you know what? No one's gonna know me as the twin. Like, I'm gonna be my own person and all this stuff. But then I realized that being a twin is part of who I am. And of course, I talk about my family. I love my family, so I'm obviously gonna talk about her. But it's not just something. It's not my, icebreaker. Oh, hi, I'm a twin. So a lot of people, when she'd come visit me, people that I was friendly with but wasn't friends with, they would think that she was me when she came to visit me at college. So I don't tell them right away, but if there's someone I'm close with, obviously they know because it's part of my family. Um, how has that changed since going to college? Oh, I kind of just answered that question too. Has college made you closer or are you more distant? I mean, we were always close, but I think it has made us closer. I just think we're more mature and we really value our time together, and like I've learned the value of being a twin, and I hope she has too. Um, yeah, so I think that we have both grown a little closer and just realized how important we are to each other. Um, at least I have. I speak for myself, but I'm hoping she says the same thing. When you guys meet someone new, what's the situation like? I think sometimes it depends on the person. I think a lot of times people think it's really cool, but sometimes I think they can also be intimidated. If you try to meet two people at the same time and then you can't tell them apart and you're afraid of messing them up, like a lot of people I can tell just won't use our names. Um, but I think most time it's fun, but occasionally, people cross that line into it's not funny anymore. But yeah, I think for the most part, it's either fun or people are a little bit like, oh no, what if I get them wrong? Um, what are your favorite memories as twins? This is hard, we've obviously grown up together, but I just think like the things I remember my senior year of high school, we both, just us two, went to a concert together, and that was one of the best nights of my life. It was just like doing, I obviously love hanging out with my family, but getting to do that one thing with her and like feeling like we were more than sisters, we were friends. That was really neat. So that was like I know she would probably think of that as one of her favorite memories, but we just had a lot. And it's always fun to look back at pictures and see us together. But yeah, I would say that's definitely the moments when you realize that it's more than sistership, it's friends, and both of those things are so powerful. That's pretty awesome. Um, Is twin telepathy a thing? No, sadly, it's not. I wish it was. I have tried to make it happen so many times, but it's not. You just know each other so well. A lot of times you'll start a story and she'll be thinking the same thing. We just think alike. But no, anyone, at least in my situation, anyone that tells you it's real, they're lying. Um, how do you handle your. Oh, wait, nope. Are you able to pass off for each other? Has there been a time where you tricked someone into believing you're the other one? Just once. Um, in my class, we were always two chicken, and a lot of my, the students that grow up with you for years and years and years, they can tell the difference. So we knew if we tried something, people would know. But we did one time switch places. We had a class together, so we just switched seats, and our teacher didn't notice, but the other students did. So how do you think life would be different if you weren't a twin? It's honestly really hard because I can't imagine not being a twin. That's all I know. For those of you who can't imagine what it'd be like to be a twin, I can't imagine what it'd be like to not be one. Um, I think I'd be less brave, which is funny to think about because I don't think I'm that brave anyway. But I think I'd be less brave, um, just because you have someone there that is always there with you to try those new things. Like I'm about to study abroad, and she's going abroad too. We're not studying abroad together, but we're going to be a country away. So that's always soothing. Like okay, I'll have her there too. If we try a new class or something different, we'd have each other. In school, I always had someone to check my work with and all that stuff. Um, and I honestly, I don't know. I feel like I'd probably be more independent if I didn't have a twin. Um, and I think my friendship life would have been a lot different, and it might be different now. But I think, I mean, as of right now, I think my life would be worse without a twin because I think it's just a gift. Um, how do we handle our arguments and reconcile? We just talk it out, I mean, or I'm a person that, tries to talk about it as soon as possible, get it over with, a lot of times I kind of forget about it. A lot of times, if we get mad at each other, we just want to talk to each other. So it's like, okay, we're going to forget that ever happened because she's one of the first ones like, oh, I got to tell Alex. I'm dying to tell her this. It's like, oh, wait, we're mad at each other. Like, no, so, but I mean, I'd say we talk about it kind of normal, just talk about it and try to get over it. Um, and then how well do you actually know your sister? I'd say very well. I would like to believe you grow up with someone for that long, and like I said, we're friends. Um, so I'd say we text every day. So I'd say I really know about her and what's going on in her life and how she feels. Um, and I think she could say the same about me. Um, her strengths are she's very strong and confident and calm. And I'd say she kind of helps keep me grounded. As I said earlier, I'm a little bit more emotional. I worry a lot. And so she can just be like, Kirsten, that's not important. She just kind of helps keep me grounded and like, hey, don't worry about that. Or it's not that big of a deal, and I just think like, and then I can tell her like, hey, it's okay. Like maybe lighten up about this or um, I don't know. It's just I think that we're very good pair. Like I said, we are different in personality, um, but I think we really help balance each other because sometimes I can get kind of um, just kind of fun um, and she'll keep me from doing something stupid. Not stupid in like a weird way, but make a fool out of myself somehow. Like she was like, Kirsten, you're talking way too loud, or Kirsten, that voice is not funny. But um, yeah, I just say we're a good match. And then what is your relationship like when one of you is in a romantic relationship? And well, my sister has been in a romantic relationship for as long as I can remember, for a very, very long time. She met an amazing boy at the time when he was 13, when they were 13, and they're still together. And so it's just become a part of my life. And he is awesome. He's like a brother. So I'd say, I mean, it doesn't I can't really say how different my life is because all throughout high school she's had that boyfriend. All throughout our college life she's had that boyfriend. So that's kind of what it's like. But I'd say it's nothing. I'm really happy for her, and there's nothing bad about it too. So she still makes time for me. So that is the end, I believe, and I hope this helped. Thanks, guys.